Hello, my friends. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Angela, and I am the owner and creative energy from Elfen and Helden. I'm a primary retailer for Dixie Bell over here in Frankfurt in Germany. When you join me, just let me know where you're watching from. Say hello to me, and where you're at. And it is 10 p.m. over here, so good evening to you. Well, it's probably good morning or good afternoon where you are. So just let me know where that is. So hi Nina. Hi Nina. Hello to Spain. Hola. Thank you for joining me. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. I will try to answer that during the live. If I'm not doing it straight away, just repost it because the comments scroll up pretty quickly. But at the end, if I miss it, I will come back later to answer your questions. So, guys, around the house with Dixie Bell, a lot of us are stuck inside with this pandemic being around the world this year. Everything is mad, so to say. So, what to do when you're at home? You just like look around, and there's loads of things to paint. And I repainted. This is like a bar card. And tonight I want to prepare it for a transfer because there's going to be a transfer on this one. And as this is like, because this was like a crosshatch dry brush technique I've used on that piece, so the surface is pretty rough. There are transfers you can put directly onto the chalk mineral paints. Hi Renee, thank you for joining. You can put directly onto the chalk mineral paints, but hi Brigida, thank you for being with me. But with this technique, the surface is pretty rough. So I would also recommend with those who don't need preparation before the transfer to do something like that. So how I do it, the Dixie Bell has got, I've got a visible copy, sorry. Dixie Bell has several top coats. They have the top coat satin, which is like a satiny finish. They have a top coat gloss, which has got like a glossy finish. They have a top coat flat, which has got like a flat finish. This is basically the one we're using. And they also have the Gator Hide. Gator Hide is the toughest top coat. So if you have like a table surface like this, I mean, this is a bar, so obviously there's like bottles and glasses eventually standing on top of that. This would be the choice for you to use on a piece like this. But with transfers, I would not recommend to seal it in between with the Gator Hide. There might be, I think there is something in the Gator Hide which might disturb some of the transfers. So I would not use that. I would use one of the normal top coats, and then you seal it with the top coat, and then over that you can put the Gator Hide. So, but anyhow, this is pretty rough. And before I put a transfer on there, I will seal it. And the transfers, they have like a sticky background, so you're not sealing it with any of the waxes, even they're water-based. You're going to seal it with one of the top coats. And my choice, because this is like, this is like an old world finish. Put you down that you can see that. So it's pretty, like used look, and therefore I'm going to go for the top coat in flat. And also the top coat flat is one of the easiest to apply top coats you can find. When you put it on, there's like no streaks, no nothing. So this if you're worried with like sealing your pieces with a top coat, this would be your choice to go with. So the top coats, they come in 3 sizes. Obviously I have the big size because I use it quite a lot. This is the 32 Oz ones. So they come in 16 and in 8 also, just like the same, basically like the paints. And you can see there's like all this stuff on the bottom here, and it's a little clearer on top. So obviously we'll have to mix that also like the paints nicely. Me and opening the jars. So, okay. Also, I would recommend, there's this one gone. I also recommend not to shake your top coats, because, hi Kelly, oh hi to Island. Because when you shake it, you can see there's like, you know, there might be some bubbles and stuff like that. And obviously when you apply a top coat, you don't want to have like any bubbles. So I would always recommend opening it normal and then stirring it with a stick, something like this, but mix it up nicely so that all the stuff which has set down on the bottom of the jar is coming up and is mixed with the other liquid. So that's what we're gonna do. Are there any projects you're working on at the moment around the house? Have you been inspired by all the people painting everything around their house? In the background you can see there's like my kitchen cupboards are going to be painted also. Those are the colors. I started on Tuesday with a totally different color. So then I decided I didn't like that, and I went for the green, which I just done early on the German, on my page for the German people. Hi Anne, hi to the UK. So, okay. Nicely mixed. And I have one brush I'm using for my top coats, which I'm marking like that also, because the top coats, obviously, I'd like to have the brush nice and clean and no paint or anything stuck to it to avoid any strokes or something like that. With this piece, it's no worries anyway, because this is so rough and it's textured, and so therefore that's no problem. So, and the reason, as I said, I'm sealing it with a top coat is because I want to apply a transfer on there. And just to make sure that the transfer adheres nicely to the surface, I'm going to seal it. And as I said, when you work with transfers, you're not sealing it with wax or something like that. You can put wax over the transfer, but not under the transfer. And even the transfers from the waxes from Dixie Belle are water-based. You wouldn't even put those underneath, because they'll have to dry. So usually with the top coats, you do like long strokes, obviously, you know, going over your project, making sure you're applying it even and nicely. With this project, you're not really seeing it because it's pretty structured, and I didn't want to have a clean look for this piece. So from the side now, I can see where this, you know, as long as it is wet, it is the surface is a little shiny. So I can see that I'm catching all the all areas basically, that there's like no spot missed out. And the top coat flat dries quickly also. Make sure if there's any questions. Hi, Michelle. There you are, girl. So that's basically we're going to do all the way around. And the top coat flat is ideal. And obviously, if you want to have like a flat finish, it keeps like the character of the chalk mineral paints, which is that flat finish. So, and the technique I used on this piece, because the surface, you can see like all those lines going through here. This is basically where the veneer wasn't very nice anymore. So instead of taking it down, I decided to work with it and basically use like a crosshatch dry brush technique. And that's how that was basically achieved. So as this is pretty textured and pretty rough, I'm going to dry that quickly. And put a second coat on. I'm just going to check when I've got that dry how the surface feels. There's a little bit of how would you say that in English? In German it would be like Fingerspitzengefühl. It's at the tip of your fingers, you know, how if you need a second coat or not. Obviously you would let it dry on its own. If you want to see how we achieved that look, that was done in live also. So you can go to my page and check it out there. And also, if you haven't done it yet, please pop over to my page and leave me a like there. And you may also sprinkle this if you want to. It'll be sweet. So second coat. Instagram can't see that side. Just moved it over for a second. And you can, I lifted the sides up at the moment. You can close that gap also, but because I'm putting the top coat on, I'm leaving it like that for now. And you can put those down if you don't need it. So I'm putting the second coat on. It is still pretty rough, so I want to make sure it's getting a little smoother so the transfer can have a nice grip. I mean, obviously you don't have to put a transfer on there, but I want to. And also, if you, as I said, you're not really seeing it with this project. but the top coat flat is very easy to apply. It doesn't leave any strokes and it dries flat. So there's no streaks or anything with it. So that's, as I said before, if you avoid about strokes, brush strokes or streaks or something like that, this would be your first choice. And also when you work with gator hide, it is recommended to put one coat of the, now I'm going just with like long strokes back and forth to make sure it's like all in one direction, which you won't see on this piece as the surface is so irregular anyway. But so nicely covered. Just leaning to the side to see. Just also there you go. That's it. Quick and easy. Quick and easy application. So I'm going to put that brush into a water bucket straight away because I don't want anything dry in the bristles of that one, as this is dedicated to the top coats. And if there's like any paint or something like that left in the bristles. Hi, Mitte. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Mitte. Yeah. So, as I said, this there's like a handle. Oh, that's gone now. Which has to be applied. Some of the woody bands on the sides here, which is prepared. Maybe we can do that together. Let this dry on top. We apply a little bit of woody band. Do you want to? I've got the heat gun here. So I'm gonna bring you a little down, I think. So let's go from here. Save enough time so the surface can dry. I'm gonna grab my glue. Where's my glue? Glue. So I'm gonna move you down. Hang on. I'm gonna go flying. Sorry. Instagram. Here, a little further down. Also. There you go. It's better now. Kelly, it depends on which brand it is. But Iron Orchid Designs, for example, they recommend it. I don't know about Hocus Pocus, and I'm not sure. I've done, oops, hang on. I've applied the redesign and also the IOD directly onto the Dixie Belle paint because they have a built-in sealer anyway. But just if you want to make sure, that it really sticks, you should do that. So I need my glue. I had it yesterday. Where did I put it? I'm going to go like this. I'm using this because I had some rest in there, a little bit left over. No, I'm going to use this one now. So applying wood you bend, I usually heat it up on a griddle or something like that. The nice thing, or the amazing thing about wood you bend is they are, hi mein Hase, they are made out of wood, and when they are cold, they are solid. You know, and you can break them, you can sand them, you can saw them, you can drill them, and when they are warmed up, they get nice and bendable. So you can heat them up either on a griddle, which makes life a little easier. You can heat them up with a heat gun. You can heat them up with a hair dryer. You can heat them up with an embossing gun. So they're very versatile. So I'm going to show you. This is just like magic. Heat them up. Obviously, when you work with the heat gun, be careful. I know what I'm talking about. So the first time I'm burning my fingers. So, and when they're warm, you can bend them. And you can bend them around any corner, any surface. So this is the amazing and nice thing about them. You can bend them around bottles, around tins, around corners, you know. So they're very versatile. I already put some on here. There's like, I'm going to put you there. There's like a little crown, and on this side here is already on there. And you can paint them. They behave just like wood. You can paint them, you can stain them. That works perfectly fine. And Dixie Belle's got them on their page also. So go over there and check that out. You can paint them beforehand, before you apply them. You can paint them afterwards. So I've got them already painted because I don't want to have any of the paint basically on the around. This always depends on what look you are going for. I'm going for the drippy look for this one. I want to put some of the black wax, gilding wax around to age it. So this is basically what I'm going for here. So I'm going to use, for applying them, you're using regular wood glue, like good quality wood glue, not just some cheapo stuff. I'm using, squeeze it out. I'm using Tide Bond. I think this is pretty. This is the glue I'm using. That's Tide Bond. Use potholders. Yeah, not your fingers. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and there's the handle, which is gonna go with it. So this is basically what it looks like, just painted, and this is what it's going to look like when it is like this, when it's aged with black gilding wax. I like black gilding wax. Who likes black gilding wax? So when you have your ornament, you put the just generous on there. Just like this. So they are totally cold at the moment. I usually have them heated up before I put it on. So let's see. That's gonna go just there. Just eyeballing it. It's the same height like the top. So heat it up so it's nice and soft, and then you can snuggle it on the surface. And whatever surface you're putting it on, even if it's glass or a mirror or something like that, always heat it up to make it nice and soft. And then you can snuggle it. And then you can really snuggle it onto the surface. Oop. And then you can see the wood glue, it's nice and warm, squeezing out on the sides. And that's a good sign, because that means it's nice and warm and it's really squashing itself onto the surface. And the excess glue, which is squeezed out, you can take off with your fingers. You can also use like a damp brush, as wood glue is water-based. That's what you can do. Clean that out there on the sides. If you want to have it really tidy. There you go. It's better with glasses. So. That's it. See, that's on there. Hallo Anna Maria. So then there's got to go the lion on top. Same thing. As this is pretty small, I'm going to heat it up so it's a bit, and it's pretty thick. The lion head is pretty thick. So I'm going to warm it up before I put it on there. So let's go from here. Also here, apply the wood glue on your fingers at the same time like I do. I always make a mess. That's me, guys. That's me. I probably one day get like a prize for being the messiest painter. So put that on top here. Again. I'm always eyeballing those things. So, warming up again. This is pretty hot. And then you squash it onto the surface. And this is basically the difference to a regular, if you work with just a damp brush to clean the excess glue. If you work with paper clay or something like that, if you would squash it like this onto the surface to make sure it's got good contact, you're basically ruining the details. What is not happening with those ones. You can push on them really hard and they still stay in the same shape. So the details stay nice and clear, and the it. There you go. What do you think? Then it's just got to be aged a little bit. That's basically what we have to do. So, and they're going on the sides also. It's basically the same thing we're going to do there. And there we go. So let's see how far the top is. I want to have the top dry. Before I put the transfer on there. So I'm not going to do that tonight because the top has to be dried before you put the transfer on there, which is not going to happen now, especially as I put 2 coats on there. And I would say that's enough for tonight, guys. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. And yeah, if you watch replay, also put #replay into the comments. I'll be happy to see where you've been watching from. And again, my name is Angela. I'm the owner and creative energy from Elfen and Helden. I'm a primary retailer for Dixie-Bell over here in Frankfurt, in Germany. So I'm very happy that you've been with me. If there's any any projects or something like that you want to see from me, you're welcome, guys. You want to see from me, just let me know. Send me a PM or put it in the comments. I'll always try to basically to do something with what you're interested in. Tonight I basically just want to get a little further with this bar card to get this one finished. So guys, I thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't done it yet, pop over to my page, leave me a like there. That'll be absolutely great. Invite your friends. That's very important for us retailers and content creators and stuff like that. So I appreciate you very much. You have a nice evening, a nice morning, afternoon, day, whatever it is. 20 to 11 p.m. over here in Frankfurt. So I'll let you go, guys. Thank you again for joining me. You take care. Bye-bye. I'll see you hopefully next week. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. That's sweet. Yes, Kiara, she is sleeping on the heating in the bathroom. So it is pretty cold over here. So I'll see you next week probably. Take care.